Shalom, Ahab, wa Baraka. And first and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the prophets that are going out and doing this work. Not the ones that are giving out 50% truth. The ones that are doing this work. All right. Today I'm going to just break out a few precepts on you are what you eat. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to go to the book of Hosea, chapter 9. We're going to start at verse 3. They shall not dwell in the Lord's land, but Ephraim shall return to Egypt, and they shall eat unclean things in Assyria. Now, that is a twofold. They are talking about eating unclean foods, and everything in this land is unclean. Egypt is slavery. That's where we are right now. Slavery. And in this land, the Israelites are eating unclean foods. And the unclean food, the main unclean food we're eating is false doctrine. So, the unclean food that you're taking in right now is the false doctrine. And you are what you eat. You're a Christian, that's the doctrine you eat. You're a Muslim, that's the doctrine you eat. But if you're Yasharal and you're giving into all these lies, then you're going to have a problem in the end. So we're going to go ahead and clear it up real quick. I got a few precepts. I'm going to go as fast as possible. Let's start with Matthew 4 and 4. Matthew chapter 4, starting at verse 4. And this is Yahweh Shai speaking. It is written in red. Matthew chapter 4, verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. What words proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh? The Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, the instructions, the 613 commandments. He told Moses, Moses wrote them down. That's how we got it. Moses dropped the tablet, he went back up the mountain, and the Most High with his own finger rewrote all of the laws for him. So those were the laws that were spoken out of. Those are the words of his mouth. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and move forward. We know now that we have to keep the law. And we're going to jump over to Revelation chapter 8. And we're going to go to chapter 10. We're going to go to Revelation chapter 10. And we're going to start at verse 8. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said, go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went unto the angel, and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it, and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. Verse 10, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. So let's get into that a little bit right now. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. Okay, so he takes the book. Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. So I took the book and ate it up. So he took the book from him and read the book. And when he first heard the words that were written in this book, it was sweet like honey, because he's under the oppression. He's like, wow, I didn't even know that. Oh, really? Oh, man, this is great. But then when it hit his belly, he understood everything. It made him sick to his stomach. Some of this stuff will cut you. It better cut you. Let's move on. Let's get a precept to make sure that when I say he's eating the book, he's reading the book, okay? So let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter chapter 15 and verse Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 16. Jeremiah 15 and 16. Thy words were found, and I did eat them. How do you eat words? By reading them and taking them in, ingesting them. And thy word was unto me the joy and rejoicing of my heart. When he heard the word, like I said, it was great. For I am called by thy name, Yahweh Shabbaoth, which means Lord of War. Yahweh means he is, and Shabbaoth, or God of hosts, means Lord of War, capital G. So, the most important part of that, the precept was, thy words were found, and I did eat them. So, he did read them. He read the words, and there was joy to his heart to hear these words. But once you understand what's going on, man, it makes you sick to your stomach. Let's move on. Proverbs Chapter 23. And we're going to, let's see if I want to, let's see. Oops. Proverbs, there it is. Proverbs 23. No, we'll start at verse 6. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. Don't fall for his false doctrine and his wicked philosophies and wisdom. They're lies. That's what it's saying. Don't even be around this person, in fact. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. So whatever he thinks about, that's really what he's about, not what he's showing you. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. The morsel which, this is verse 8, the morsel which thou hast eaten, so that little bit of doctrine that you took from him, shall thou vomit it up, and lose thy sweet words. So when you vomit up his stupid doctrine, you're losing the what you were supposed to know. You're losing the real wisdom by taking in these other people's false doctrines. Let's move on. Proverbs chapter 10, verses 8 to start. We'll start at Proverbs chapter 10, and we'll start at verse 8. The wise in heart receive commandments, but the parting fool shall fall. So anybody that's wise is going to keep the laws. The person that pulls away from the laws is going to fail. That's all there is. They fall is what it's saying, that they're going to fall. They're going to go down. Now, verse 9. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely. How do you walk uprightly? By being sure that you're doing what you're supposed to according to these scriptures. But he that perverteth his ways shall be known. Somebody that perverteth his ways but tries to pretend like they walking upright like you are, Most High is going to show you that they are lying to you. He that perverteth his ways will be known. I have a good example of it, but I'm not blowing up anybody's spot because, maybe they could come back around and I don't want to be sitting there using them as an example. I'd rather go to them in person and tell them. And then after that, maybe. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known. You will find out. Verse 10, he that winketh his eye causeth sorrow, but a parting fool shall fall. A prating fool shall fall. We gotta figure out what that word prating means. biblical definition of prating.
According to less than be greater than dictionary /be greater than.com, to utter an empty or foolish talk, to prate absurdities with the greatest seriousness. Noun, act of prating.
Act of prating, to prate absurdities with great seriousness. To utter empty or foolish talk with great seriousness. That's what it's saying. So when it says prating in the scriptures, it's saying to utter empty or foolish talk with great seriousness. So I'm glad we got that out there, because now we know that a prating fool shall fail. Somebody that's uttering foolish and uttering empty, foolish talk, absurdities with great seriousness. So that person's going to fail. That person is clearly pulled away from the laws. A law-abiding Israelite would not be considered a prating fool. He that walketh uprightly, and then verse 11, the mouth of the righteous man is a well of life. Because why? What is he telling you? He's telling you to wake up and live. These scriptures keep you alive. By keeping the law, statutes, and commandments is how you come into life. That's how the dry bones can live. They got to keep the laws. But violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. Violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. It might as well just be like a prating fool, right? A prating fool who falls away. Hatred stirreth up strifes, but love covereth all sins. Verse 13. And the lips of him that hath understanding, wisdom is found. And what is understanding? What is wisdom? It's keeping the laws. And the rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. So all you fools out in the streets. And then you play semantics too with the street preachers. And hear the truth. You know it's the truth. And then go against the truth. And then you run up and down the streets doing foolishness. Cops just rounding you up like wild herds of animals, putting you all away. And you don't even realize it's because you never kept the laws in the first place. Oh man, the system got me. I wasn't even doing nothing wrong, man. They just this, that, and the third. I'll tell you what, the system got you because you don't keep the laws. It's designed to take you down. And this book is designed to protect you from that. So we know right away, you ain't doing what the Most High wants. 14. Verse 14. Am I going to keep going? You know what? One more verse. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the fool is near destruction. So a wise man's going to speak the law, statutes, and commandments to you and explain them to you and teach you about them and how to do them. And a foolish man's just going to teach you how to get destroyed. Come on, man. It's all good, man. All that's been done away with. You can eat pork. You can do this. We can go out on Saturday. We can go out on Friday night. Friday night's the best night, bro. They have the drink specials. You see what I'm saying? Everything's set up against you. Only these laws are here to protect you. That's it. You eat the doctrine of the Most High and you're protected. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read a couple more verses and we're gonna call it. I want to get into the left hand real quick. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna stay with it. I'm not going anywhere. And if they don't put up the video, sorry I made it too long. Maybe they'll put it up. Let's go to Proverbs 10 and start at verse 20. The tongue of the just is as silver. The heart of the wicked is little worth. They're never going to be able to help you, these wicked people. They have nothing to offer. The lips of the righteous feed many. He teaches you life. His wisdom is a well of living water. But fools die for want of wisdom, because they don't. The reason why you're a fool is because you won't learn anything in the first place. You don't accept doctrine. That's what makes you a fool. What makes a fool? Somebody that can't accept the doctrine. You're a fool. You don't accept doctrine. There's something wrong in your brain. That's all there is to it. Let's go to Proverbs 11, and I can't believe I put that in there. Okay. 11 and 21. I don't know why I put this in. I didn't even realize it was in here. Though hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Just saying. All of you fools that can't accept doctrine, that won't eat the book, you won't read the book, that way you don't learn the book. That's why you don't know the book. That's why you walk around looking stupid when someone brings out something out of the book and you act like you know. If you don't eat the book, you are going to be punished. But the people that do eat the book are going to be delivered, because they will have, what another parable is oil in their lamp to see their way. They're going to have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to know what's going on in the end times, to be sure that they are not swallowed up by wickedness and false doctrine and policy. But let's move on. We're going to go over to the book of Isaiah. And then after this, we'll be done. After we go through Isaiah, we are done. Book of Isaiah, chapter, that's right. We're going to hit up 29 and 30. Let's start at the book of Isaiah in chapter 30, and we're going to start at chapter 30 and start verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. So, total and utter destruction to these rebellious children. They're taking counsel. They're feeding each other wickedness, plotting, making stuff up, worshiping false gods, and then calling it the Most High. It's very interesting. Okay, but let's move on, because now that we know that they're wicked and rebellious children, let's go backwards a little bit to Isaiah 29, and we're going to start at verse. We're going to go to verse 10. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered. Why? Because you guys keep pushing out false doctrine. You keep feeding the children of Israel junk. That's all it is junk. Let me skip past the part where they don't understand the book, because they don't understand the book. But let's jump up to verse 13. Wherefore the Lord said, for so much as this people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, not you guys for sure, all those Christians and Muslims are, oh yeah, everything, but bring the Bible out and they're dismayed. It's like they're scared of the book. No, we don't need that. We don't want, yeah, because the book is so sharp, it'll cut you with you just seeing it out. You'll get cut. I know it. You'll get cut. It must have like some kind of, like, it just knows, you know that the book knows that you are scared of it. It's like the book is like alive or something, because once it comes out, you start freaking out. But they draw near me with their mouths, and with their lips they do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me. And their fear towards me is taught by the precept of men. That's why you can't walk into a Christian church without them making up some weird ass story about their life instead of telling you what the scriptures say. I'm not even gonna get into the camps, man. I can't believe what they're saying. But let's stick with this Christian church for a minute, because they're feeding false doctrine and you guys are eating it. So let's jump down to Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 8. Now go, write it before them in a tablet and note it in a book, that it may be for a time to come for a time to come forever and ever. Go ahead and write this down on a table. Note this in a book. Eat these words. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord. I just told you that in the very first verse. It says that, woe unto the rebellious children, saith Yahweh. So, let's read verse 9 again. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. That goes right back over here to what he was saying. The fear, their fear towards me is taught by the precepts of men. They want to be lied to, and they'll fear God through the lie that feels good to them. So really, they don't fear God. They don't have Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Salakia. So let's drop back down over on Isaiah 30. Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 29 and read verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do marvelous works among this people. Even, remember that's that old English word that means indeed. Indeed a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent shall be hid. In other words, he's going to take away their understanding, and they're not going to know how to bring out these words anymore. They're going to be teaching off of their own vain imagination. Verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, who knoweth us? And guess what? The Most High sees you, and He knows you. Your works are no longer in the dark. We found your secret place, and you are no longer able to hide from us. So, your works also will be known. He that perverteth his ways shall be known. I just said that like 5 minutes ago. So, when they think they can hide from us, the Most High is going to show you what they're doing. And He does that every day with the government. They tell on themselves, they tell on other people, the left wing, the right wing, all this stuff is going on. And I'm just going to go ahead and close out right there. I just hope that somebody was able to get something out of this message. And what the point is the food you eat affects your health, your energy level, and your mental state. So when you take in law, statutes, and commandments, you're healthier, you have more energy, and you're mentally sound. But when you get the roller coaster of worldly doctrines that all disagree with each other, but walk around holding hands, hand in hand, two men disagreed cannot walk together. You can't do that, but here they are, everybody trying to get along. You got all of this confusion. It affects your health. Stress makes you tired and burned out all the time. Mentally, you're going crazy. So don't eat false doctrine. Stay with the scriptures that were taught to us in the book. If a camp tells you that Yahushua didn't do miracles, you know that they're lying and you shouldn't listen to them. If a camp tells you the book of Romans or Hebrews or whatever shouldn't be in the Bible, well, that's how we lost the Apocrypha in the first place. People like that, they're lying to you. You can't listen to them. You got to stay away from them. They're feeding you false doctrine, and if you eat from it, you're near destruction. With that being said, I hope everybody got something out of this lesson. Shalom.